here we are. We've got 3 programs for you today that you can use while you're away at a race. All of them are on the ground, mostly. There's a little bit of standing, but mostly on the ground. They'll work the trunk, and they'll give you a little bit of flexibility moves. So not too taxing, but enough to make some changes, especially when you're in competition. So first one, day 1 here, is sitting, and we call it joint rotation. So hands behind the head, body's nice and straight. We're rotating just toes in the same direction. Okay, so we would do that 10 times. Then you do toes and ankles together. Toes and ankles. The next one would be 10 times, and toes, ankles, knees. And then toes, ankle, knees, hips. So you do 10 repetitions of each. Then you would do all in the other direction. So toes, ankles, knees, toes, ankle, knees, hips. Then you would do them in opposite directions. So yeah, toes, ankles, yes, and hips. And then still opposites, but in the other direction. Toes, ankles, knees. Very good. Toes, ankles, knees, hips. Thank you. Then you're lying on your back. That's what supine is. We're doing a knee to chest progression. So you're going to lift one leg, the other leg, and both legs. And you want to make sure that everything stays in a nice straight line. So lift the right leg. See that? That's right in alignment. Then you lift the left, and then you lift both. You pick the number you want, break it into thirds, and change speeds. Okay, now you're doing the same thing, but you bring your knee to chest and then extend your leg. So it's got to go up still in the line. It's got to go down nice and straight with as little waver as possible. And then both. Perfect. And you do that same thing. Now you're on your stomach, and you're doing a heel to glute and extend up in the air progression. So it goes one and down, the other and down, both and down. So that's nice alignment. Now we'll do it with extension. One, and everything applies the same way. You make break them into thirds and change speeds each time. Okay, now we have knee to elbow, extend and lift. There we go. Extend it out and then lift it up in the air. You try to keep your hips as flat as possible. So many slow, medium, fast. Thank you. Now we're going to do a sit. We'll go to the side, excuse me. So when you go to this is a hip flip progression. So the hand comes under your neck, body is nice and straight, hand is a good brace right there. So the first one is just to lift the leg laterally. And as you can see, the pelvis stays in alignment, it doesn't break. So that's the first one. The second exercise you do is up and bend. Yeah, the same thing, good alignment, fantastic. Now the hip flip, it's up, bend, rotate, and kick. Tough to keep the pelvis straight, but well done. Then after you finish that, just for some coordination, you do it in reverse. So you have the kick first, then, yes, nice, thank you. So you would do each one of those, whatever number you would like, at each side. Thank you. Now we're on the sit with wide leg and bending progression. So legs as wide as possible. Again, we're looking for alignment. Back straight, hands behind the head. You can extend the hands when you bend the leg. So here we got one, the other, and both. That's the first one. Then the second part of the progression is bend and kick. So let's say you did first 15 of the first one, 15 to 30, then you do 15 to 30 of those. And the third one is just keeping them bent the whole time and kicking. Well done, thank you. What do we got next? So we had, now we're supine, that's on the back, and a jackknife progression. Okay, so first one, hands are above your head. You're just bending, just keeping your body flat and doing side bends. So go side to side as if you're making a C and you're keeping your back flat. Okay, thank you. You do that so many times, and then you do jackknives, where your hands and your feet are going to touch. And then you explode up, and you go the other side, X amount, slow, medium, fast. Now let's do the same thing on the stomach, please. So in the prone, the jackknife position. The first one's bending. Thank you. Bending now with the jackknife. You touch, you explode, and you touch. Thank you. Now, we're supine. We're going to do breaststroke legs. We have to do these in each way. This is a great stomach one. So your back is flat. That's important. Your legs are up at 90-90. The first one, we will extend up in the air, circle close to the ground, bring them down. Very nice. So we'll do that X amount of times. The opposite way is knees to chest, extend out close to the ground, circle wide, bring them up. Make sure we keep the back flat so there's no damage, and that'll really build a good, strong lower ab. All right, thank you. Now we're going to the back bridge. Your hands are on the ground, you're bringing your hips up in the air, you're holding them there. Very nice. And from here, you're extending a leg out straight, keeping that alignment and keeping the hips up, one the other. Now, when you do both, you got to be fast. Thank you. Good stuff. Okay, now you're back to supine. That's on your back. Hands are above your head. In one piece, you're going to roll to your side. So from there, you roll up, balance, roll back. You really want to roll from the stomach so that the lower body or the upper body is not leading. Okay, thank you. And then you go from your stomach and you're going to do the same thing. Prone position to side rolls. Down and back up, and you do the number you want, slow, medium, and fast speeds. Thank you. Now you're in the prone and you're, prone rolling to supine. So you roll all the way over, keep going, yes. And then you roll back, one piece, nice, and then the other way, and you roll back. Now you're doing that same move, but when you get to your back, your feet are 6 inches off the ground. So you control, nice. Then you roll back. Nice, good way to work the lower abs again. Thank you. Now you're on your back, and your feet are 6 inches off the ground. We'd like to do this one. It's good for the lower abs. It's an easy one. And this time, a coach will go by and will hit your feet up and down, side to side, that type of thing. Perturbation, it's called. That will work a little bit extra on the stomach. Okay, thank you. Now you're on your stomach, and you're going to roll to your back and do a sit-up. A sit-up. So roll, sit up, yes. Then nice, see that nice rhythm, and we're rolling a sit-up, and you'll do slow, medium, fast. And in this sit-up, you can have your feet off the ground or on the ground, whatever you feel. Now you're on your back in the supine position, but you're rolling to your stomach and you're going to do a push-up. Now you can do extended push-up or a regular push-up. So you do an extended push-up, quite impressive. You're really working the stomach and back, and there's a regular push-up. Very nicely done. Thanks. Now we're prone, and you're going to roll to a V-sit. So prone's on your stomach. You're going to roll to your back, and with a straight leg V-sit. Nice. And we roll the other way. V-sit. Thank you. 2 more. Now you're in the bum jump position. So you're sitting and your legs are off the ground, and then when you do bum jumps, you're going to go forward, backwards, side, side. So you jump forward, you jump backwards, you jump side, and you jump side. Thank you. Now the next one's from your stomach. You're rolling to the sit-up with your feet off the ground, and then you're going to do a bum jump. So you roll into that seat, jump. Go back, roll the other way, and you can go either forward again, side, side, whatever you want, as long as after the roll you get one of the 4 jumps. All right, thanks very much. That's the end of day 1. Cheers.